Do you ever feel like money is just so complicated and time consuming? In today's video, I'm sharing 7 ways that we have simplified our financial life so that we can spend less time managing our money and more time enjoying our money. If you're new around here, I'm Lena. I make money at home videos. If that interests you, please subscribe and ring that little bell so you get notified when I upload a new video. If you didn't notice, I'm in a new space. I'm loving my new background. This is so fun. We have been moving, and of course we caught our first cold of the school year. So we are having a little bit of chaos over here, but here goes. Stick around because at the end, I am sharing my tip for simplifying your financial life that you're pretty much guaranteed to like. First up is to pick a financial system. Every system is not going to work for every family. So find one that works for what you are like and what your family is like. Maybe you do the envelope system. Maybe you have a paper budget. Maybe you have an Excel budget. Maybe you have a budget scribbled on your fridge on your whiteboard. It's really up to you, but you need to pick a system and go with it. At least for a while, see if you like it, and then change as needed. So for us, we have a paper budget that I made in Excel, and we print it out and then we input all our receipts. So we have all our receipts on the side of the fridge with a magnet. It is not high tech. And after we buy something, you always have to bring home a receipt. That's part of the system rule. And then I input it into the budget, and then I put a check mark on the receipt when I'm done, and then I throw it in the bin of doom, which lives on top of the fridge. So if we ever need a receipt again, we know where it is. We spend primarily on our Citi Costco credit card, and then we bring home that receipt to show what we spent so we can account for that. Next up, to simplify your financial life is to manage your money together and not yours and mine. If you are married, I would manage your money together. Everyone has access to every single account, every single credit card, all the things, but it's one unit. So there's no, we're going to draw $20 from here to pay this power bill, and then you're going to do 60% of this rent, and you're going to do 30% of the power bill. None of that. We are managing our money together and as one unit. I understand that there are life circumstances where this might not work very well, especially if you get married in your 30s or 40s, and there's been lots of things that have happened, and there's a great discrepancy between incomes and net worth and all that jazz. But for me and my husband, what works the best and is the simplest is that we manage every penny together, and we all know where all our pennies are. I think this is beneficial for both of us for a lot of reasons, but one of them is that, if I forget about something, my husband can easily get into that account, pay that bill, manage that. He knows where everything is, and there's nothing hidden. We're all an open book about our money. One of the other reasons that I really like this is that it values stay-at-home mothers. So I spend a lot of my working hours at home taking care of children, and I provide great value, but there's not a lot of money that goes along with that. So my husband makes the majority of the money, but we aren't talking like that because he's not putting his money in his account and I'm not putting my teaching income in my account. It's all together because we are a financial unit and we both bring value to this relationship. And that kind of takes away that monetary level of saying, well, you didn't make as much money because you were staying home with the kids. Because that's irrelevant, and being a stay-at-home parent is really hard work and is worth so much. Let me know down in the comments, if you are married, are all your financial accounts merged? Can everyone get into everything, or do you have some separation? Next up to simplifying your financial life is don't budget forever. The task will expand to the time that you allow it to. So if you have no deadline and you're like, well, I've got all Saturday afternoon to mess around with the budget, guess what? Before you know it, you'll have spent all afternoon messing around with the budget. And I don't want to spend that much time on my budget. So maybe set aside a half an hour to work on your budget, or less, or 1 day a week to think about your budget. But don't do it all the time, because if you allow yourself to be engaged with your budget all the time, you will be, and it will take up so much of your time that you could be doing something more fun with. Not that I don't enjoy budgeting, but I don't want to spend my life budgeting. And I don't want to look back on my life and say, well, I didn't do Legos with my kid because I was creating the best budget. Sometimes we can get lost in analysis and looking at every single possible detail and thinking through every single possible scenario. And that can really be a waste of your precious time because your most valuable asset is your time. Next up is assign money tasks. So I originally kind of heard about this from Jordan Page. She has lots of videos about how they manage their money as a family. And this is what we do also, is that my husband has money tasks and I have money tasks. So I'm not doing all the things and he's not doing all the things. We're also not trying to do the same things. So he pays the bills, like the power bill. So when the power bill comes, I never attempt to pay it because I know he's going to do that. Because we could get confused if I did it and then he was like, wait a minute, I thought I was supposed to pay the power bill. Or wait, did you forget to pay the power bill? Wait, who was supposed to do that? That just gets confusing when you have roles that are undefined. So my husband is in charge of the Airbnb bookkeeping. We run an Airbnb in our house and we're going to have one in our new house. And I have a whole Airbnb playlist also. I am in charge of our household bookkeeping. So all those receipts that end up on the side of the fridge, I am taking care of that. My husband pays like the bills, like the power bill and the phone bill and all those sorts of things. So if you could make a list of all the money tasks that you wish were getting done, then you and your spouse can sit down and divvy them up. Which ones do they want to do? Which ones do you like doing? Which ones do they just like want to avoid at all costs? And then maybe you could do that one. You know, it's a give and take. So next up is to automate your bills and investments. So one of my husband's assigned tasks is to pay bills like car insurance, phone bill, the power bill, stuff like that. And one of the ways he saves time on that is automating those bills. So he set up automatic bill pay and he's just checking and confirming that the payment went through, that everything's all good. But he's not having to mess with that all the time or, you know, input all the things or go to the website every single time he needs to pay the bill. It's already set up, ready to go, and that saves a lot of time. We also automate some amount of investing. We definitely do more investing than our automatic, but in our paper budget, we have investments already in there. So we have an automatic investment into my Roth IRA and an automatic investment into my husband's Roth IRA. And those are not ginormous amounts, but whatever happens, that will happen because it's automatically withdrawn from our account and it's already in the budget. So we've already set that money aside from the paycheck. So even if the sky is falling and we spend all sorts of crazy money, like when you're moving and you have to renovate an Airbnb, perhaps, we are still automatically investing every single month for sure. So in a way, we're not counting on our own humanness because humanness happens, sickness happens, moving happens. To ensure our retirement and our investment plans, it's going to happen automatically. Next way to simplify your financial life is don't look at the progress of others too much. Yes, it's great to be inspired by others, but it can take a lot of time and then you're comparing and they're like, I didn't make as much progress as they did and therefore I suck. Don't waste your time peering in on other people's lives and trying to figure out how much they spent on their food budget. Celebrate your own wins and your own progress. Everybody's circumstances are different. Everybody has a different set of financial restraints on them. They maybe have car loans, they maybe have student loans, maybe they don't, maybe they have different income levels than you. So it's really about your personal record. That's kind of what they talk about in running. I'm not a runner, but some of my family members have been runners, and they're always talking about that PR, your personal record. So if you are moving towards your goals, celebrate that. Don't compare that to how someone else met their goals. Don't get caught in that comparison trap because it's a waste of your time, your energy, and your emotional positiveness. And the last way to simplify your financial life is to afford things that you enjoy. This might seem counterproductive, but hear me out. Anything that's too restrictive, like a diet, a budget, a workout plan, if it's too restrictive, you're not going to be able to stay the path for very long, which means you're going to give up and you're going to go back to your old ways, and then you're going to feel so sad that you didn't make progress towards your goals, and you're like, why didn't this happen? I'll come up with a new extreme budget to do. That's not really going to work in the long term. So afford things that you enjoy. So for us, this means that my husband and I both get money every single month to spend on whatever we want. And if you are in an extreme gazelle intense period of your debt payoff, maybe it's like $30, $20 a person, but whatever it is, you need to have it there so that you feel like you have the power to do things that you want. It doesn't need to be $300 a month. It doesn't need to be $1,000 a month. Just a little bit so that you can say, yes, I'm going to go do that fun thing and I'm going to enjoy it 100%. Whatever it is that brings you joy, you need a little bit of it in your life so that you can get closer to your financial dreams. Because the last thing I want you to do is give up on your budget, throw it in the trash, and burn it. We also afford vacations and time away. So this doesn't have to be a big expensive trip. It could be a little trip. It could be a trip to go see your family and relax at their place. It could be a camping trip. It doesn't have to be $1 million for you to have a meaningful getaway. But you can't neglect fun forever and still feel really satisfied about your quality of life. Well, what did I miss? Let us know in the comments, what do you do that helps simplify your financial life? If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe for more. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.